Yogi, come onto your hands and knees. Breathe and prepare for the practice of yoga. We begin with dog and cat tilt. Inhaling into dog and exhaling into cat. Using this undulating movement, synchronized with the flow of your breath, to liberate the spine of its tensions. Remembering that the spine is at the center of your health and well-being. Now we move into the Shakti Kriya. So our first movement is from cat to cobra, undulating forward as you keep your arms straight and look up. The exhalation takes us back to baby pose, to lengthen and stretch the spine out. The second cobra slithers forward from baby, inhaling to rise, and the exhalation takes us back into downward dog, melting between the shoulder blades. The final and third kriya is a floating form as you hover forward, keeping your toes tucked under and legs above the ground, and the exhale brings us back into downward dog. We're now ready to connect with lunge, bringing the right foot forward between the hands, inhaling to look skyward, and then exhaling to draw back into bowing warrior. So we now weave these two postures together, inhaling to lunge, looking up, and exhaling to bowing warrior as we draw the hips back to stretch through the right hamstring. Slow your movement down, play your edges with deep respect, combined with a wish to grow. Now the next time that you draw back into bowing warrior, we're going to link into triangle pose by dropping the back heel down on a 45-degree angle, rooting through the feet, drawing the legs strong, turning and lifting your left hip bone to open your belly and your chest as you radiate out through the stretch of your arms. Your gaze centers on your left hand thumb. Let your breath flow through the posture, delivering the light to the stretch. Now from triangle pose, we're going to link into warrior two, lunging into your front leg, raising your spine, and then on an exhale, entering side angle, placing your right fingertips down in line with your front heel. Lever your right knee outwardly with your right arm. Stretch and extend through your back leg, and then opening your heart just like for triangle as you gaze up to your left thumb. From side angle, we will swivel into a warrior lunge, turning onto your back toes, lifting your heart, arms above the head, and then exhaling back into downward dog. We now take the Shakti Kriya, inhaling into dog tilt, exhaling to cat tilt, inhaling into the first cobra, exhaling into baby, inhaling into the second cobra, exhaling into downward dog, and then inhaling into the third cobra, hovering above the ground of the legs, and exhaling back into downward dog. Now we're ready to step the left foot forward between the palms into lunge, carrying the inhale up into your chest, looking skyward, and exhaling to draw back into your bowing warrior. Once again, link the two postures together on the flow of your breath, inhaling into lunge and exhaling into bowing warrior. Slow down and allow your movement to be conscious and mindful. Now the next time you draw back into your bowing warrior, we're ready for triangle on this side. Hopping the back heel down on 45 degree. Place your left hand anywhere you need to support your triangle. And then rooting through the feet to draw the earth energy into your legs so that they straighten. Open your belly and your chest as you lift your right hip bone and draw your right shoulder blade back towards an imaginary wall behind you. Breathe the posture full of light. Now the link into Warrior Two. Inhaling to rise as you lunge into your left leg, and then exhaling to come down into side angle. Position your left hand inside your left heel. Scoop your tailbone under as you stretch and extend through your back heel. The heart opens and the gaze is on the right thumb. Let the fire come into the body without coming into the brain. From side angle, we sweep through into warrior lunge, inhaling, and then back into downward dog on the flow of your exhale. Shakti Kriya, inhaling into dog tilt, exhaling into cat, inhaling into the first cobra, exhaling into baby pose, inhaling into the second cobra, exhaling to downward dog, inhaling into the third cobra, keeping the toes tucked under, arms strong, and exhaling back into downward dog. We'll now come back down onto our hands and knees in dog tilt and take an exhale to ease back into baby pose, ready for the locust pose, Shalabhasana. Slither forward from baby into cobra on the inhale, but then lower down onto the front of the body as you exhale, keeping your hands where they are, elbows tucked in. Now with your first inhalation, you're going to lift your chest away from the ground without pushing through your hands, and then use the exhale to release. The second movement is to inhale and lift your chest and your legs from the ground, keeping your legs straight, and then an exhale to release to some degree. Now the third movement is to lift the chest, legs, and the palms away from the ground. On the exhalation, interlace your fingers behind your back, and now over the next few breaths, pull back through your knuckles and your toes and lift your heart into each new inhalation. This is spinal empowerment. On the exhalation, release back down into your base position. Bend your knees as we take shoulder roll, extending your right leg out to the side, palm up, rolling onto your right hip, scooping your feet underneath you, and interlacing your fingers if you can. Use each inhalation to pull out through the knuckles, and each exhalation to tenderly roll to the left. We now switch to the other side of the shoulder roll, keeping the knees bent. Shoot the left arm out, palm turned up. Roll over, scoop your feet under, and interlace your fingers or reach in that direction. Inhale to extend the arms, and exhale to roll the body over to the right. Keep your neck nice and free. Now we roll back onto our front, keeping the knees bent. Reach back and grab a hold of your ankles for bow pose. Use the inhalations to flex the ankles, pulling the arms taut as you lift your thighs and your chest away from the ground. This is a combination of the two previous postures, all rolled into one. An exhalation brings us back down to the ground, to then inhale into Cobra and exhale back into baby pose to make the release in the spine. Turn inwards with your attention and use your exhalation to relax through your lower back. We now move on, yogis. Dog tilt on the inhale, downward dog on the exhale, and then into hero's pose by coming into a kneeling posture at the front of the mat, knees together, and then sitting down either into the heels, between them, on a cushion or onto the floor. Take an inhale to open your chest and lift your spine, and then begin to recline back into Supta Virasana, the reclining hero. Take your own time with this. Be true to yourself and to your body's capacities. Use each inhalation to draw the thighs in together, scooping your tailbone under and opening into your chest. Each exhalation then provides the opportunity to recline back. You can rest on your hands, on your elbows, or even flat down and onto your shoulders. Breathe wherever you go, maintaining a soft brain and an open heart. From the reclining position, we'll raise ourselves back up using the inhalation. Once you're up, roll onto your hands and your knees and step back into downward dog. We take the Shakti Kriya. Inhaling into dog tilt. Exhaling to cat. Inhaling into the first cobra. Exhaling to baby pose. Inhaling to slither through to the second cobra. Exhaling to downward dog. Inhaling into the third cobra, the floating cobra, and exhaling back into downward dog. We're going to now come down onto the floor. So come forward into a cross-legged posture at the front of your mat on the inhale, and use an exhale to roll back onto your buttocks and continue to lie down on your back. As you bring your knees into your body, interlace your fingers around the shins Ground your shoulders and then use each exhalation to bring your forehead up to your knees in a deep compression of the abdomen. Relax back on the inhalation and then compress the body on the exhalation as you bring your forehead towards your knees. Keep your feet together, toes open, shoulders away from the ears. We're now ready for leg lift. Release your spine to the floor. Bring your arms strongly down beside you. Shoot through your legs. Open the soles of your feet. And then gradually bring your heels down so that your legs come towards a 45-degree angle, making sure that your lower back, the arch of your back, is drawn firmly into the ground. Breathe powerful breaths, using each exhalation to draw the belly down into the spine. There'll be an inhale that draws the knees back into the body and an exhale to squeeze. And then we come into bridge pose, placing the feet down by the buttocks, hip width apart, and lifting the spine away from the ground. Scoop your shoulder blades underneath you and together. Interlace the fingers if it's possible. Each inhalation lifts the chest towards the chin and the hips towards the sky. It's an exhalation that brings the spine back down. An inhalation to bring the knees back into the body and hug. And then crossing your ankles, grab a hold of your big toes and have fun rolling yourself up into cross-legged. And then use an exhalation to roll back into half shoulder stand. Bringing the hands onto the lower back. Just like you did in bridge pose, bring your shoulders in and underneath you. And then sit your hips into your hands, form a dog tilt, and extend your legs into the inhalation. Compose your breath as your legs empty their energy down into your spine. This is our way of rejuvenating and restoring the body at the end of our flow. From the half shoulder stand, we'll be linking into fish pose. To do this, bend your knees towards your forehead, release your arms to the ground, cross your ankles and roll back up into your cross-legged posture. Then rest down onto your elbows, placing your thumbs either side of your lower spine, and using your inhalation, arch your back, lifting your heart, and then exhale to patiently release your neck back. Breathe powerful breaths into the front of your body. To raise back up into our cross-legged posture, use an inhalation. And now prepare yourself for the closing practice of double breathing. Taking an inhale into the heart, an exhalation down to your roots. Relax a passive inhalation into your abdomen and begin double breathing. Deep inhale up into your heart and an exhale to release the energy into your body. Enter dynamic stillness.